In this video, let's talk about video editing for creators with Vegas Pro.
Real quick, you're watching VP Land. Special thanks to our sponsors for helping make our NAB coverage possible, Blackmagic and Atmos. And now, back to the video.
All right, I'm here with Gary from Vegas Creative Software. Gary, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So yeah, tell me first off, people that might not be familiar with Vegas, tell me about Vegas.
Okay, Vegas Pro is a nonlinear video and audio editor. Been around for over 25 years now, so we are not new to the space. We've been punching above our weight for many years, and we continue to do so.
And what are some of the updates that you have in the latest version?
Yeah, we released version 21 of Vegas Pro back in August, and we have implemented basically a continuous delivery model. So we usually have a major upgrade once a year or so, and then throughout the cycle of that upgrade, we provide free updates. We just released Vegas Pro 21 Update 3 about a week and a half ago, and in some ways that Update 3 release is even bigger than the initial release. We've got some really, in addition to a lot of performance improvements and so forth, we introduced a lot of really nice features, a couple of AI features that are really helpful, and I can go into some detail.
Yeah, give me some of the detail. Well, yeah, tell me what some of the new stuff you got.
Yeah, we introduced text-based editing.
Okay.
So you can analyze the text of your video file or even just an audio file that's dialogue-based. We'll analyze the dialogue, create a transcript, and then you can basically just use word processing type functions to edit the text, and simultaneously as you edit the text, the timeline events are edited. So it's really powerful for people who are doing like maybe long form interviews, or YouTubers who are sitting down for an hour and
talking head videos or something, yeah.
Right? And then they have to edit a bunch of that stuff out. They can now do it by just reading their transcript and saying, well, I didn't want to say that, just cut it out of the transcript, and it edits the timeline. So that's really powerful, and it's been really well received so far. Another AI feature that we introduced is, in the initial release of Vegas Pro, we introduced something called smart masking, AI smart masking. And in the Update 3 release, we introduced version 2.0 of AI smart masking. And basically what smart masking does is it analyzes the video, it analyzes a frame of the video, and then the AI model identifies objects in that video. So if you and I were in the video, it would identify us as people, animals, cars, whatever. And then you can point to the object that you want to mask out, and it just creates an automatic mask. And then you can track the length of the video and then mask the entire length of the video.
Sort of like automatic rotoscoping.
Yeah, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's rotoscoping, because we don't have the background replacement yet, but we're working towards that. But it's automated masking. So if we didn't want this behind us in our interview, we would mask us out. It's basically, if you didn't do it in front of a green screen, you can use this to drop out the background or whatever.
So it would like mask our layer, and then we just put another layer of the background behind us.
It would mask us. It would mask our objects, and then you could put whatever else you wanted in the background, just like you would a green screen.
Yeah.
And it does it automatically, but then you can go through, because of course AI isn't perfect. It's not one button and my video's done kind of thing, right? You run it through, then you can go through it and analyze, just visually check it. And if it didn't get something quite right, like if it didn't get your shoulder or something, then you can adjust it and make it perfect. And it's really a powerful feature, and that's another one that's been really well received. We've been doing a lot of work on format support and performance of formats, accelerating file formats with GPU. We recently brought over, we basically doubled the size of our team and brought some really smart engineers that are really good with video engine and formats and performance and all of that kind of thing. So we're really doubling down on that kind of work as well. And some of that stuff is in Update 3 as well.
Now, with Vegas, who is sort of the target user base who's been using Vegas for their creative work?
So there's a little history behind that, the answer to that question. So 25 years ago, when we introduced Vegas, the crowd that really kept Vegas alive back then, whereas so many other editors back then were introduced and faded away. The crowd that kept us alive was, of all people, the wedding and event videographers.
Okay.
The reason for that was that those were guys that had to deliver a lot of material fast. In the high season, they were doing weddings every week, and they had to turn that thing around so they could get on to the next one. And so they really appreciated Vegas because of the straightforward workflow, the ease of use, the just ability to create a project without having to leave your creative space. And that's one of the things Vegas is so powerful at, is it aids your creative workflow instead of interrupting you to think about, oh, how do I do that? Well, fast forward 25 years, now there's a new group of people, content creators, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. And it's obviously a huge growing market. Everybody's talking about it. But the thing that situates Vegas really well for these people is the same thing that helped those wedding and event guys back in the old days. These people have to deliver fast. They got to feed the content machine, so they have to work fast and deliver often. And so Vegas is really well suited to that. So we're not going after Hollywood. We're not trying to be the Hollywood NLE. We're not that. We've never been that, and we've never tried to be that. But what we are is basically the tool for the everyday man or woman who's got to get something done and get it done quickly. So we really appeal to content creators, like the social media content creators. We also appeal to one-person shops or maybe small agencies that have 2 or 3 editors that are doing work, enterprise work, but professional work, but not at the enterprise level, not at the Hollywood or broadcast level. We have some people that use it for that, it starts to touch that crowd, but that's not really what we're after. We're after the people, the content creators, and the small shops that need to get stuff done quickly.
What is it about Vegas though that makes like working in it so quickly and so fast for these content creators?
So there's also some history behind that. Vegas was developed by a little company called Sonic Foundry back in Madison, Wisconsin. And Sonic Foundry was an audio company. They created a piece of software called SoundForge, which is now one of our sister products still. And SoundForge was the first audio editor on the PC platform, on the Windows platform. We started to think about, well, let's make a multi-track audio editor. And so we created one, and the first version of Vegas Pro was audio only. It was a digital audio workstation. All of those tools are still in Vegas Pro. But when we then decided to start creating a video editor, we took a look at what was out there, and basically what was out there at the time was just trying to emulate the old tape-based workflow where you had a source monitor and a results monitor, and you still see that in some of the competitor software today. And we took a look at it and said, why can't editing video be just as easy as editing audio? And so we took a whole lot of techniques from the audio world and we put them into Vegas Pro, like, for instance, our automatic crossfades. So you overlap 2 events, you instantly get a crossfade. You don't have to add a transition, you don't have to do anything, you just overlap them. That's a very audio-centric thing.
Drag out handles or deal with all that.
Exactly, yeah. And we've been doing that since the beginning. The other thing so those audio tools, that audio approach is just different, and it's just more efficient, it's more free-flowing, it's more creative. You can just...
So you're saying also too the 2 monitors that we're kind of used to in video editing, that originated in audio editing?
No, that originated in the tape-based video editing world. And you can still work that way in Vegas if you want to. You can bring up a source monitor and work that way if you're comfortable doing that. But most people who start out doing that find that it's just easier to drag it right on the timeline, trim it up, and get busy, And so it's that kind of fast workflow and just simple approach that really appealed to those guys who needed to work fast like that.
You gave a talk here around a panel about the future of the creator economy. What are some of your thoughts about where the creator economy is going?
Well, my piece of that panel was to talk about post-production, but actually I'm obviously interested in the post-production because that's what we do. But I'm really interested in, and I spent some time talking about just the creative mindset itself. And we talked about, people trying to chase like Mr. Beast, right? Like people want to have a YouTube channel. I want to be the next Mr. Beast. Well, Mr. Beast he's growing up, right? He's not 18 anymore. He's 25 now. He's starting to mature. He's starting to look at what he's done in the past and say, I want to do something different. And by the time you catch up to Mr. Beast, he's onto something else, right? And the trends have changed. So my advice to creators was, of course, pay attention to what the big boys are doing, what the big guys are doing, and the successful YouTubers are doing, and take away the important pieces of that. But in the end, it's got to come from your heart. It's got to come from what do you want to accomplish? What message do you want to tell, and how do you want to do it? And if you approach it from that way, instead of approaching it from, I gotta be like this, instead I gotta be from here, then I think you can be successful. And that's how the successful YouTubers got where they are. They just did what they enjoyed doing and were passionate about.
I mean, a lot of them also sort of become their own little media entities. I mean, do you feel like there's going to be sort of a blurred line of what, and also just like what people watching YouTube on their TV is increasing? Do you feel like it's going to kind of be a blurred line between what's traditional media and what's creator media, and it's just media?
Yeah, that's a great question, and this is another topic that the panel touched on that I was on Sunday, is that in many ways this creator community is making the broadcasts, it's making them rethink what they're doing, right? Because they see the success that just guys like me and you are having on YouTube, just throwing stuff out there. And they're being forced to rethink their structures, their procedures. The creator economy is changing the world of video editing. There's no doubt about it, and it's really kind of fun to watch that happen because, I'm not a young guy anymore, and guys like me, we've been doing this for so many years. If we don't pay attention to what the young people are doing, we're going to become dinosaurs. We're going to be irrelevant real quickly, and I think that more and more every day, the high-end broadcasters and so forth are paying attention to that.
Yeah.
They have to.
Adapt or die.
Exactly. Yeah.
And just to wrap up with Vegas, what are some of I know you have like kind of monthly different pricing options and packages, like what are some of the ways to get use Vegas?
So there's really one core piece of software called Vegas Pro. There are 3 ways to buy that. You can buy just that piece of software, that's our Vegas Edit product. Then there's another tier, which is Vegas Pro Suite, which includes SoundForge, which I talked about earlier. It includes Acid Pro. It includes collaboration with Boris Effects that we did called Mocha Vegas. So their Mocha product is built into Vegas in that way. And then there's one more tier, which is called Vegas Post, and that has some compositing and image processing tools in it. So yeah, 3 different ways to buy it. But all 3 of them have the same core Vegas Pro software.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that is it for this video. Be sure to check out the rest of our NAB coverage over here at this playlist. And for more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode.